But to our top story, another strong showing from the Democratic Party's far left wing in last night's primaries. Even with a razor-thin loss in Wisconsin, the bigger picture is hard to miss. The party continues to move left as the rift between the old guard and a new generation of socialist sympathizers grows wider. Hello, everyone. This is Outnumbered. I'm Kayleigh McEnany here with my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Emily Campagno. Also joining us, Lisa Booth, Fox News political analyst, and Dr. Mark Siegel, senior medical analyst, professor of medicine at NYU Langone Health, and author of the #1 New York Times bestseller, The Miracles Among Us. While many on the far left were celebrating last night, one socialist suffered defeat. Francesca Hong narrowly lost the race to be the Democratic nominee for Wisconsin's governorship after failing to get the blessing of some of the far left's biggest players. Elsewhere, the far left prevailed. In Minnesota, Governor Tim Walz's second-in-command, Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, beat a more centrist candidate by nearly 20 points to become the left Senate nominee. Here's what she had to say about her victory and what's next.
We are going to make health care available and affordable once and for all. We need to rip ICE apart and stop them from terrorizing our communities. We are going to fight the corruption, whether it's in the White House or in the halls of Congress, because the grift has to stop.
The grift? Well, she was #2. There's a lot of fraud in her state. Maybe she should look at that. Socialists say they want to make things more affordable for Americans, but one think tank says that the DSA's plans would likely have the opposite effect. Look at this. The Cato Institute says the DSA ballparks up to $212 trillion in new spending over the next decade. Confiscating every dollar of high-end wealth and corporate profits would cover only a fraction of those costs. The DSA agenda necessitates high taxes on middle-class Americans. The author of that study spoke to Fox Business.
This is what I call the progressive agenda to soak the middle class. You still could only cover a fraction of what they're proposing. And so the only source of revenue they can go to is higher taxes on the middle class. And that's what we see around the world. Every other large welfare state funds their huge governments with really big taxes on the middle class. And that there's no way around that.
And in another sign that the far left is not going anywhere, Democratic strategist Doug Schoen writes in the Wall Street Journal not to rule out a presidential run from New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. He points out that AOC has more than 30 million social media followers, as big a small donor fundraising base as any candidate has ever enjoyed, and the ability to draw and excite large crowds. Democratic primaries increasingly revolve around the DSA's principles, and AOC would feel pressure from her left not to temporize in this manner. I think that is exactly right. So, Lisa, one thing I'm looking at about last night is what this means for El Sayed. Here's why. Michigan and Wisconsin are very similar states. El Sayed, Hong, very similar policies. Hong is a card-carrying socialist. El Sayed is a little bit better. He says, I'm not a socialist. He's very smooth on his feet. Both were up by 20 points. One narrowly lost, one narrowly won. But El Sayed has to win a general election, and I'm not sure Hong's votes last night indicate a good showing for him in a general election statewide.
Yeah, but they both have some math concerns. You look at Michigan, for instance. I think it was the past two midterm elections. Republicans had a base in the gubernatorial elections, I think about 1.95 million voters, and Democrats had about over 400,000 votes in those gubernatorial races. So there's just like math concerns for Republicans there. I don't think if you look at Minnesota, that's as instructive of this internal divide that you have in the Democratic Party, primarily just because you look at Peggy Flanagan. She was lieutenant governor, so she's appeared twice on a statewide ballot in the state, in both 2018, 2022 as well. So this is someone who is known statewide, whereas Angie Craig, who is also running for the race, she's a member of Congress. She's lesser known. So I think that Peggy Flanagan benefited from just that structural advantage there. Wisconsin's the bummer for if you're Republicans, because of course you wanted to face off against Francesca Hong. She's nuts. You know, I worked in the state of Wisconsin on the Tommy Thompson for Senate campaign in 2012. It's a tricky state. It's very much a purple state. Just look at the senators.
That's right.
You've got Tammy Baldwin, super progressive, and then you've got Ron Johnson, very conservative. And then you add on some of the other things, like when I worked on the Tommy Thompson race, The Wisconsin press corps, they are brutal. They are so liberal, so much more liberal than the rest of the national media. Then you've got a tough environment for Republicans as well, just nationwide. And then you add on Wisconsin's history of voting against the party in the White House in midterm gubernatorial races. That being said, Tom Tiffany has been a really strong candidate so far. He's running a really solid race, so maybe he's got a shot. But I think just more broadly speaking, this is a tough cycle for Republicans.
It is, but I also think it's a tough cycle for socialists. I do not think socialism wins the day in Michigan, no matter how it is packaged, but we'll see. On that note, one thing Americans love as much as Thanksgiving is football. And El Sayed's, there were some unearthed comments from CNN. He analogized destroying Native Americans and the transatlantic slave trade to the ethos of football. He also, Emily, said that is there a version of football that's actually ethical, safe? What would need to change? I mean, Michiganders love their Big Ten football.
Yeah, they do. And the Lions fans there love the NFL. I found this instructive and not surprising. The whole point is everything about his ethos, his religion, his everything is anti-America. It's anti-West. It's anti this entire structure. So the irony to me that's heartbreaking, frankly, is the fact that everyone is vying for these positions that are so crucial to how our republic is constructed, while at the same time saying they want to obliterate it. So what, they're all Trojan horses. They all want to be a member of the structure built by our founding fathers simply to explode it from the inside. So of course he hates football. And mind you, he's also a hypocrite because he played football for 5 seconds. He said, I know there's conflicting reports at times that he was, the subject of bullying in the locker room for racism and things, while also his campaign manager said he was captain. So I don't quite know what the truth is. What I know is that he's a very calculated, conniving individual that has made it quite clear how he feels about America, our values, and what he would do if he got that position. Now he's trying to say those are cherry-picked comments. I have different beliefs. It's not cherry-picked. It was 5 seconds ago. It's 2023. You were talking. I mean, I hope that everyone sees that with no help from the media, as Lisa described. That is certainly paving the way very smoothly for him. I do agree with you that Minnesota, the name recognition carried a lot of weight. Wisconsin, I still have hope that there's still some common sense there. But I also think in my head, Minnesota is just a lost cause, as we've seen. And perhaps Michigan, despite my feelings about the University of Michigan, go Dogs, I'm hoping that they'll come to their common senses too.
And, Harris, one thing Michelle Tafoya, and I have no doubt she will, but she needs to hammer home, is the fraud epidemic. I mean, Peggy Flanagan is the #2 there overseeing this multi-million-dollar fraud crisis.
Yeah, I mean, and she can get help from a lot of Republicans to go into that state. I mean, so many agencies are working on that inside the Trump administration. And that brings me to my point. This is all hands on now. Because the split that we saw in the primaries last night should be a wake-up call for Republicans. Where you think they will win, they won't. And where you think they won't win, they will. And the problem is it's not across the board one way or the other, which means the Democrats are all over the place. They will coalesce, Yep. They're going to coalesce. First of all, they don't have money. They're in debt, highly in debt. So they've got to figure out a way now, how do we best spend our money? And they'll do that by coming together, because you can't have it going all over everywhere. And that means some socialists will rise because they've got the numbers. You asked me as I was sitting down and we were getting mic'd up, Dr. Siegel, why did David Crowley win? David Crowley didn't just win because he's the executive leader politically in Milwaukee County. He won because he had a coalition. He also had all those rural areas that Francesca Hong could not get. She only had the urban areas, particularly Madison. Now, that's good for her, and that bodes well for Democrat socialists because they are in these hotbed areas like Mondami here in New York, so on and so forth. But those outer rural communities, even in tricky state Wisconsin, and I live next door in Minnesota, and I watch their politics blow up and become not just purple, but pretty darn blue right next door. And so how do you break that? You run a candidate like Tiffany. He's running but it's going to take everybody. You can't just depend on him and a few dollars to do it. People got to show up now for Republicans.
He has a very strong program that says, cut taxes. I grew up on a dairy farm, Tiffany. I'm going to go for business. Versus these other candidates, the DSA candidates, are all anti-business. And if you look at Flanagan in Minnesota, she has one thing in common with El Sayed in Michigan. Both of them Medicare for all, right? And you pointed out, Kayleigh, that at the beginning here, that Medicare for all, at a time when Dr. Oz is going after all of the fraud in Medicare, how do you extend that across the board? And by the way, El Said has a great line. He says he's a physician. I wrote an op-ed about this on our website. Says he's a physician, right? Says, I've never taken a single dollar from Medicare, so therefore I can reform it. Really? It's actually doctors who have to work with that busted system who know how to reform it.
Yeah.
He's a liar.
No doubt about it. Well, we will follow that race and others. And I think it's instructive for the Democratic Party when you unite the so-called establishment and oppose a socialist. And when Bernie and AOC stay out, that's how you defeat them. And I'm sure Hong is pretty mad at Bernie today and AOC because that could have been the difference for that, 0.1 or 2%.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kayleigh McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.